Welcome to the It Matters podcast. I'm your host, Walter Perez, and let's dive in as we help you grow your mindset and elevate your leadership. Hey, everybody, welcome back to the It Matters podcast. Thank you for joining me on another episode. I hope that these episodes continue to add value to you, to impact you, to make you better. I'm trying to bring you some material that will encourage you, inspire you, and make you think a little bit different and make you a better leader along the way. And so I just want to remind you that if this is impacting you, if you're finding some good things here, share it. Bring somebody along the journey that needs to hear this stuff. Make a comment. Let me know what you're thinking. Let me know what you're learning. Like it. Help us out in spreading the word so we can impact other leaders out there as well. And I'm going to do my best to continue to bring you some content that will add value to you. I'll bring some guests that will help you elevate you and teach you, and we'll continue to be on this journey together. Today, though, I wanted to bring you another solo episode, and I've called this episode Leaders Are Readers. Now, before you start rolling your eyes or kind of writing this one off and saying, well, yeah, what a cute little saying. Hey, be careful. Be careful and getting caught up in this idea like, oh, yeah, I know that, or I've heard that, yeah, not for me. Wait, give it a chance. And for a moment, let me ask you, have you been applying these things before you write them off? Because if you haven't tried it and if you haven't actually you haven't given it a chance or made it a habit, then how do you know if it's actually going to work for you or not? And reading is one of those things. And watch this and hear me out. I didn't say readers are leaders. I said leaders are readers. You could be a reader and completely not be a leader because or developing your leadership skills because you're reading the wrong books, because you might be reading books that put crap and garbage into your mind. And like the saying goes, garbage in, garbage out. So we need to be very careful what we're reading. And so leaders are readers. And if you're going to continue to develop your leadership skills and maximize your potential in leadership, hear me out. You need to be a reader. You need to read and you need to pick the right books. And if you're gonna sit there and be like, hey, I'm not a reader, Walter. I just don't really care. I have troubles reading and I don't like it. I need you to eliminate those excuses because we all need to start somewhere. And you're not looking at a guy that's always been a reader. I think about high school and back. I just didn't care to read. I didn't like reading. And I created a habit when I started reading some books that really started changing my life. I started reading books because they taught me things. It allowed me to learn new things. I started reading because it started transforming my life. It started transforming my life in the way I lived, and it got me to learn something new, and it will allow me to apply it and teach it to other people. And so, I want you to pause for a moment and realize that maybe you just need to create a habit. Maybe you just need to realize that you need to start somewhere and you need to have some grace on yourself. And if you don't have that habit, I'm not asking you to go read a book in a week, though there's some people out there that do that. Start with 10 pages daily. Start with 10 minutes a day. You've heard me say that before because I truly believe in the power of building a habit. Reading will set you on this journey and will set you on this journey of growth. That's really what reading does. And what do I mean by that? Like it allows you to mature. It allows you to continue to learn and put yourself in a posture of humility, right? Well, what it'll do is you have to admit that you actually don't know everything. You need to get rid of that pride and feel like, hey, I am the expert at everything. I need to know everything. No. It actually puts you in a posture to say that I actually can learn from many people. And so the challenge that I'm going to put out here too is don't just go read one type of book. Don't just go read the same author. Allow yourself to explore different authors out there and different topics and different things and expertise because you don't know everything. Have the mentality that that everybody could teach you something. And don't just go that one person needs to teach me everything. It ain't true, because one person is not going to be great and good at everything. One person can't teach you everything. So allow yourself to go learn from multiple people. Now, I'm not sitting here and telling you that you need to go memorize everything that you read. Sometimes I remember one concept and one thought, and that's what I'll run with, and it'll be a full book, and there's different things that it triggered in me and it inspired me, motivated me, and I'll remember certain quotes that truly impact me because I apply it, or it'll trigger other thoughts and ideas to make me better. I'm also not sitting here and telling you that you have to agree with everything you read. Bring your brain with you and learn how to, you know, chew on the meat and spit out the bones. Allow yourself to take things that you can apply and you can learn. And if something is off and it doesn't match up with your core values, then don't take it. Don't apply it. This is an opportunity for you to go, okay, what can I learn from this? Because remember, authors and anybody that's written a book, they spend hours. Most of authors out there have spent hours, days, months, weeks, and potentially years putting things together, and they've mastered the craft, and they've done the research, and they've learned from others. Think about the wealth of knowledge and wisdom that a book may have. But if you're going into it, by the way, first of all, saying, "Well, I don't know, I'm kind of skeptical," um, I'm not against you questioning things, but if you're gonna live as a skeptic all your life, you're never gonna learn anything, and you're never gonna really adapt and realize that, hey, I can grow, and I need to listen to other perspectives, even the ones that I don't agree with, or because when I read something that I don't agree with, it actually only makes my stance on what I do believe even stronger. It allows me to go, oh, okay. As a leader, though, I want to learn how other people think and how they see it, because then it helps me be a better leader in the perspective on how to lead them better. And so we need to have this learning mentality. We need to have this perspective that, hey, I wanna be able to um, I want to be able to grow. I want to be able to learn new things, and the world is changing at a rapid pace that that I need to keep up with it. And so another thought that comes into it is what you read is super ultra important. I like to recommend that you read personal growth books. I want to recommend that you read leadership books, maybe some business books, maybe some finance books. These things that will add some value to you and help you lead better in whatever arena you are. Why personal growth? Well, because the reality is that um, leadership or life is not just built on just these principles and these ideas that everything's always going to go perfect. You need to grow if you're going to be able to relate and connect to people. That's why I love leadership, because it's an art. We need to learn how to serve people. We need to improve our communication skills. We need to improve on how we think and getting negative out and bringing positive in. We need to learn how to be visionaries and bigger dreamers. We need to learn different skill sets on how to handle emotions. We need to learn how to handle money if we're leading businesses. We need to learn so many things that that people out there have learned maybe the hard way. We can learn from their mistakes and we can learn from their wins. There's industries that I'll never maybe have a chance to lead in, but I've learned on how they've thought, and we take the overall general principles and say, oh, that I could probably apply that in my industry. Oh, I can apply that problem solving skill set into my industry. I can have that solution seeking mindset and figure out how it applies to me. You see, we need to stop being prideful and acting like we know it all and that we can't learn from other people, or that we're not willing to. One thing that you have to make the choice is to decide to be a growth minded individual, and then go on this journey of developing your leadership skill sets and your personal growth and your those personal skill sets that will help you become a better person, and maybe gaining knowledge on different things. But this is the thing about knowledge. I'm not encouraging you to read books just to gather information. The information has to be translated into transformation, and the way that happens is by putting it into action. And so don't I'm not here to tell you to just collect books and collect information and so you look good and smart. You can still be smart without being wise. And so apply this information so the wisdom can come in that. As you're learning from others, you're applying it and seeing how it worked for you, and what you're learning from that and how you're growing. I'm a person that loves to collect books. I love seeing the books that I've read, but I also love seeing the books that I want to read and what's next. And sometimes I change my technique on what I'm going to read next, even though I make a list of books that I want to read. It depends on the season you're going into. You got to figure out what are the books that will help you right now, and what is what you need right now, and then go into it and go, okay, how is this going to make me better, and how can I apply it? I personally love buying books too because I love the way a library looks. But if that's not your thing, then it doesn't have to be your thing. Fine, go borrow a book, go to the library and return it. Whatever, but don't make an excuse that you can't afford a book to not read. And you can get books on your tablets and your phones now. You can get audiobooks. Stop making excuses on why you're not a reader and figure out ways to consume some of this information that will then transform your life and make you a better leader. Leaders are readers because we need to keep up with the ever so quick changing world and cultures and companies. Business is evolving, and we need to continue to invest in ourselves. Now, the bigger the business, the bigger the dream, and the bigger the things that you want to do, then you might have to double down, triple down, quadruple down on your learning capacity and your learning rate. And so maybe read more books. Maybe you need to read more than one book a month, whatever that looks like. But just go create a habit of reading and being a student, so then that you don't get caught up in this prideful posture of saying, I don't need to learn from anybody. I know it all. The reality is that you don't. And so you need to go and be open and realizing that people are different. People are unique, and not everybody learns the way you do. Not everybody's going to do it the way you do it. The hardest person to lead is going to be you. And you're not ever going to lead anybody like you again, by the way. I've said that before, because everybody's a little bit different. So stop trying to lead everybody the way you lead or learn or serve or whatever. Learn the art of people and the art of leadership so that you can be a better leader, and you can learn how to encourage, you can learn how to influence and impact people. This is what the game is. This is what the game of leadership is all about. We're trying to make the world a better place. We're trying to make people better, and we're trying to translate all that into maybe greater results and maybe greater impact. And so think about what reading could do for you, and allow yourselves to go on this journey of just discovery. It's a beautiful thing to do. And then you become hungry for it, you crave it. And one of the best ways to avoid getting stuck or getting complacent, and even growing desire, is to put action into it, and not be led by emotions and feelings or circumstances. Be a principle led individual that says, hey, no, I know that books are going to help me, and I know that there's so much wisdom out there, and I need to go and learn from them. And I have the ability to control that. I have the ability to decide at the rate that I'm going to learn. It doesn't matter if you have formal education or not. If you are able to, tap into education on a school level, take a course or whatever, or if you feel too old for that, you can grab a book at any age, and you can just start exploring and learning from that. But it's important to remember that the kind of books you're grabbing are important, and so be on purpose. Growth doesn't happen by accident, right? So be intentional, and go out there and say, okay, this is what I'm going to commit to this next month, next half a year, this next year, and go on the journey of just seeing yourself transform. It's not just for knowledge, it's so you can mature, it's so you can learn something new, and so then you can get transformed by putting it into action so that you can apply it to your business and whatever you're doing. And you can also teach it and you can pass it on to other people. It's incredible how valuable you can become as you gain this knowledge. You don't have to be sitting in a posture that I need to know it all and that I need to have original thoughts. No, go learn from somebody's mistakes, go learn from somebody's wins, and apply it directly or tweak it in how it applies to your industry or your arena, and allow yourself to grow in that and through that. Leaders are readers, and so I hope you're hearing me and what I'm saying in this, that you need to have that posture of growth. You need to have that posture to continue to learn and grow, and have grace on yourself. It's an art. Figure out how it applies, but don't eliminate it from your possibilities. Make sure that it's part of you, so then you can become the best version of yourself and the best leader that you can be. And you can maximize your potential, and the impact potential is going to be so great that you will make a difference in people's lives, and you'll continue to learn. That's just the biggest thing that I want to say in that. That reading will help you become a better person and not get stuck in your ways and even move backwards. Maybe on a future episode, maybe I'll give you maybe my top 10 books that I would recommend, but I wanted to give you the why. I wanted to give you the understanding and the why behind why you need to be a reader. There's so many. There's a sea of books out there that you can grab. Start somewhere. Grab a book. Grab a thin book, a small book. I don't care. Have a victory. Get a victory. Go get a small book and say, I read this small book, but read it so it can impact you, not just read it so you can say you read it. Take a quote, take a thought. How does that make a difference? How does that make you better? And then that'll make you the leader that you need to be for your organization and for your people. And you're gonna impact the world. I believe it. And so I hope this is valuable to you. Comment, let me know, what do you want to read next? What are you reading right now? What are you learning? Why is it important for you to read? Like, let's have this community that we can talk back and forth and understand that it's important. Let's not get caught up in this idea that I'm not a reader, so I don't need to do that and to be successful. I think you need to be a reader, and I think you need to apply it and make sure that you make a priority for it. Because when you do that, like we always love to say on this podcast, it will be a win-win when the leader leads well. All of this will help you lead well. And so I'll catch you in the next episode. Thank you for joining me. Bye for now.